Welcome back. All right, so another prospect profile today. We're going to talk about Brayden Yager. Brayden Yager drafted 14th overall by the Pittsburgh Penguins, and I've got the lists up here. So on McKeen's, he was 30th on the pre-draft rankings. Hockey Prospect had him at 22. Bob McKenzie had him at 15. I'm considering just dropping the where they were ranked before the draft on the prospect videos going forward, getting just more into the notes on what you're getting, because at this point doesn't really matter that much where they were ranked. So he's 6 foot tall, 182 centimeters, weighs 170 pounds, 77 kilos. So a bit on the light side for being a National Hockey Leaguer, which might factor into some of the notes on the board here. So this year in Moose Jaw was seen as a bit of a disappointment to start. The previous year in Moose Jaw, 63 games, 34 goals, 25 assists, 59 points. Those 34 goals put him on a lot of lists to start the season. He should have been top 10, was really, really talked about, and then he got off to a really slow start with Moose Jaw. Ends up playing 67 games, 28 goals. So his goals go down to go with 50 assists, 78 points. So his points go up. His assists go up by a lot. He doubles his assists, right? But the fact that his goals dropped, that's why you end up getting him in Pittsburgh. And he may end up being a steal. He may end up being one of those guys who we debate about for the next couple of years. So, his playmaking improved during the season. He's not seen as a guy who's going to put up a ton of assists in the NHL, but playmaking, which was seen as his weakness coming into the season, he did work on, and he's gotten better. Good speed. He's not seen as one of the faster in the draft class, so he's not in that upper echelon with skating, but he is the next level below. So he's not a bad skater. He's not an average skater. He's a good skater, and he shoots well on the rush. So that is a key, really, to being a successful National Hockey Leaguer at this point. If you can shoot on the rush, teams are going to pay attention. So those are good, and also his performance got better during the season, and he had a really good playoffs. He helped Moose Jaw push Winnipeg to a 6-game series rather than just bowing out easily. And so, yeah, he is seen as a player who got better and had a good playoffs, and that's key. That might be one of the reasons why he ends up going as high as he does to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh might have really liked what they saw from him in the second half of the season. He does need to work on net driving efforts. So a lot of his goals are scored, and it's north-south hockey, so straight up, and he doesn't really do the east-west across the ice kind of game. He does need to work on the net driving, but the one thing that stands out to me is he's 170 pounds at 6 feet tall. Probably just needs to put on a few pounds. And coaching. As I've said before, teams with good trainers and good coaches in the development area can absolutely work with him on that. He does telegraph his passes a little bit too much, which, that's a thing. That's absolutely a thing. But while he telegraphs his passes, he does have some good upside when it comes to the playmaking side of things. And so, there's definitely something there. We'll see how it turns out. He may be better suited to playing on the wing in the NHL. So he's listed as a center. He may end up being a winger in the National Hockey League game. He's not a guy who will drive the line, but he could be very good on the wing and as a support, right? So him dropping to a winger instead of a center, not necessarily a game breaker if you're Pittsburgh, because last I checked, they're pretty good down the middle right now. But adding strength, I think, is the key, and that's been said too in one of the prospect reports I read, that adding that strength is going to be a real key to his development. If he can add that strength, get the net driving part of his game rounded out, he could be a very dangerous forward. He is seen as a minimum third line player. So his floor, and this is something that gets talked about a lot, you have a player whose floor and ceiling may be widely different. Where maybe his floor is he'll end up in the AHL, he'll never make the NHL, but the ceiling, he could be a first liner. That would be the dramatic, feast or famine. In his case, he's seen as probably being a second liner in the NHL. Could be a top six forward, or maybe he ends up being a third liner. But he's definitely seen as being an NHL level talent. He was seen as a top 10 prospect before the season started. That slow start dropped him down some lists. He was in the late half of the draft's first round for most lists. But we'll see how it turns out, because Bob McKenzie's list had him at 15. Pittsburgh drafts him at 14. That's pretty close. So we'll see how it goes for him. But let me know your thoughts. If you're a Penguins fan, are you excited about the prospect? Are you not? Let me know why. If you're a Moose Jaw fan, where do you see his game? What do you think is going to be the ceiling for him. Are you excited about Yager as a National Hockey League player? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.